The following production is brought to you by the Talkin Buds Leaf Show.
Here we go, Talkin Buds Leaf Show, episode 389. When you get to this point of the offseason, we're 5 weeks away from the start of the regular season. We've been doing our summer spotlights, trying to come up with ways to keep ourselves, let alone the audience, engaged. I was sitting thinking about today's episode. I'm like, what can we do? And I was like, you know what? Let's do something that Ryan and I have never done before. At this point, you and I are veterans of this podcasting game. There's nothing you can throw at us that we probably can't handle. So I thought, let's put the talk in Talkin Buds. And let's just flip these microphones on today. No layout, no rundown, no predetermined topics. And let's just talk and see where the conversation takes us. How do you feel about that, Ryan?
I don't know. It could be a fucking disaster. We'll see.
I like your optimism. It's very good.
See.
Well done. So, first thing, I'm scrolling along Twitter here, waiting for you to sign on, and I see regular season tickets on sale today. Lots of people commenting on prices and how they've increased yet again. No surprise there. I think a lot of people are miffed by this after how last season went, but it's the reality of the situation in the world we're living in, but also it contributes to the environment in the building. And it's just one of those things that, like, talking about it is kind of pointless because it's not going to change. It's never going to change, especially now with Rogers owning the team. That's another thing that people need to remember. Like, the game has changed this year. Like, Rogers is the sole owner of the team now, and they got a lot of money invested in the National Hockey League from the broadcast rights deal, and they've once again increased the price of the Sportsnet Plus streaming service. Hockey Night in Canada is no longer technically free over-the-air programming. Now it's exclusively on Sportsnet starting this year. Times are changing, but when you're charging $300 to sit in the upper bowl at a Leaf game, it's what contributes to the atmosphere in that building and why it is one of the worst buildings in pro sports.
It's the worst building in pro sports.
It is.
I don't care what anybody says.
Maybe
during the playoffs it ramps up a little bit, but regular season, it's awful. It's terrible. It's terrible.
It's awful. And I think when I granted the Rogers Center is a much bigger venue than Scotiabank Arena, but I think, Jays are sold out pretty much every night, and the tickets, while they've also gone up in price, are much more affordable. So the average fan is in the building cheering on the team, whereas like you're pricing a lot of people out of the building. It's too bad, man. It sucks.
I love the Toronto Maple Leafs so much, but I would never spend $300 a ticket to go sit anywhere in that building for a regular season game. There's no way, man. There's no way. What is your cap of live event spending? Because I think a live event is only worth so much, even if it's Game 7 of the World Series. Like, what is your cap? Because I think some of the prices that people pay to go see a concert or to go see a playoff game is just absolutely ridiculous. I know for some people money isn't a thing, but for the average Joe, like, what are you forking over for 2 tickets?
Well, I think there's context involved in that question for a few reasons. One, I think, is it regular season or is it playoffs? I think that changes things. You and I pulled our wallets out to go to Game 2 of the ALCS last year because it was like, we got to go to this, and that was the game that got absolutely spanked by the Mariners.
Yeah.
But also, I'm not the type of person. There's some people that they just want to be in the building, and you see it like Ed Sheeran is at Rogers Center this past weekend, and people are paying hundreds of dollars to sit way at the back of the stadium. The Rogers Stadium. Like, God, I don't care who's playing there. I am never setting foot inside that venue. There's absolutely nothing appealing about it to me. If the Leafs or the Jays or like I got a chance to go to Lambeau Field or something, if it was like a big deal event, you could probably get me to wrap my head around $500 a ticket.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go any higher than that. But again, that is like special playoff context. Like if you're telling me that I got to pay $300 to sit in the nosebleeds at Scotiabank Arena to watch the Leafs play Columbus on a Wednesday night, absolutely not. I've got an unreal man cave set up in my basement that I spent a lot of time putting together. I'll happily watch the game down there than make the trip downtown to, because when you think about it, it's like you're buying the ticket, but you're also paying for parking. You're paying for drinks. If you go out early, you're paying for food. You're paying.
Yeah, I'm not holding back at the beer the beer vendor when I head down to Scotiabank or Rogers Centre.
Yeah, so it's like you add all these things together, and it's what contributes to making Scotiabank Arena the way it is. And I understand that it's a business, and I understand the Leafs are what they are. It's a quote unquote like upscale event experience, or at least they like to think it is in the city. But when you contrast it to the Bell Center, it sucks. It hits you right between the eyes how different those buildings are. And I know Habs tickets aren't cheap, but they've clearly found a way to get passionate fans inside the building and not make it as like quiet and corporate and dull as Scotiabank Arena has become.
And it's also like, I mean, I'm a bit of a hypocrite. Like when I say I go down to the game, someone gives me tickets, like I'm not, you're going to be the one guy who's just boiled, just making noise, trying to get the crowd fired up. Like, no, you're sitting in your seat just like everybody else. So I guess when I go to the game, I'm also a bit of a hypocrite, but I don't know what they can do. I mean, I guess they can lower the prices, but that's never going to happen. But yeah, it's tough when you're trying to sell. We always talk about how this market's the center of the hockey universe. Well, shouldn't the building be the center of the hockey universe? It's the worst building in the league. If I'm a player on that team, I'm going out there being like, this is our home building. That's a church during the regular season, and we'll only get somewhat loud when we score a goal. Other than that, it's just dull in there. It's boring. It's terrible.
And like I said earlier, I think that everyone needs to remember that there has been a change in ownership, and that's going to reflect in many different ways. Like I'm seeing a lot of people talking about the price of streaming sports in this country now. It's insane. Like when you factor in, if you're not like a cable package is starting to become more appealing to people now, because if you want to watch sports in Canada, you got to have Sportsnet Plus, you got to have TSN, you got to have Amazon. DAZN now with the NFL is so expensive, expensive. Yeah, it's like hundreds of dollars, and the annual subscription price for Sportsnet Plus is like $240. It is not cheap, man.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, go back to my original question. I do think paying to go to a live event, like a concert, like you referenced, at least you know what you're getting there. Like you want to spend $500.
Hold on. Let me cut you. Let me just interject there and correct. Sportsnet Plus standard, $249.99. Sportsnet Plus Premium, which comes with basically the NHL center ice package and some like the FA Cup and stuff, $324.99.
Yeah,
insane. Yeah. Sorry,
I'm still on the I'm still got rocking a cable on my I use the Bell 5 app on my Apple TV. That's what I use. I don't pay for Sportsnet Plus, or I do pay for TSN Plus because I like watching the golf. I hate how you can't watch golf on a Thursday at like 8 a.m. anywhere. That kind of pisses me off. So I will pay for that. And then I mean TSN does have has Red Zone too, so that's helpful. But yeah, it's ridiculous. Everything's just getting too insane. Streaming, going to the game, beers at the game, which I'm going to buy anyway, and then go home and not regret any of it. But even though I spent way too much.
Yeah.
God, I love putting beers down at a game, man. Oh, it's one of my favorite things. God, I absolutely love it. Just to the point where it's just like, and they get so warm too after a while. Like, 'cause I always get two. I'm Mr. Double. I always got a double. If I don't have two in my hand, I feel like there's something wrong. Like, I just feel off. I feel like there's something's not right. My life isn't aligned. So you get those two going, and then you just, by the second one, it's warm, and you just spent $60, and then you got to worry about how much you're going to tip the person again. Is it a one-tip deal at the beer vendor? Is it a double-tip deal? Like, what do you do? I don't know.
It's also, you're a King Can guy as well.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Like running, I don't like running out. Like,
No,
I don't want
you
to
don't
run
like running
out.
out.
Who gets,
No.
I love one guy who goes to, like, the guy gets to his seat. He's got like one little can of beer. I'm like, what are you going to do with that? Like, what is that going to do? Like, I don't know. Maybe I have a sickness. I don't know.
Hey, man, though, like 5 weeks away till the start of the season, and I just keep... I know you're like, I don't care, bring it on. I don't like wishing the summer away, but
Well, it's already over. So
well, and it's crazy to think, if you just take a step back, it's crazy to think how far we've come in the sense of how we all felt when last season ended, and now how we're all feeling going into the start of this season. Even from, like, even training camp last year was like kind of a slog. It went on too long. It kind of sucked. They played that one game against the Red Wings where they gave up like 50 shots. And we were all with their NHL roster, and we were all like, relax, it's the preseason. But little did we know that was like an actual precursor to how the year is going to go. Mm-hmm. And then you fast forward a year later, and umpteen number of storylines heading into training camp, and things we're going to be honed in on. Jim Hiller, Gavin McKenna, Sergei Bobrovsky, Darren Radish, John Chaika. Like, what is Austin Matthews going to look like? How healthy is he? Like, all these things. Morgan Riley. We were all like, well, that's the last time we've ever seen Morgan Riley in a Leaf jersey. Not so much. Is Chris Tanev going to be able to stay healthy? Is Anthony Stolarz going to be able to stay healthy? What is Easton Cowan going to look like? Like, it is just so many interesting storylines, like all converging at once as training camp opens. I'm pretty amped up.
Before day one of the regular season, it's all about 92, man. In the preseason, that's the one storyline. You're not learning anything from Chris Tanev or Darren Radish or Austin Matthews or William Nylander. The list goes on and on and on. Preseason's about one thing and one thing only, and that's watching 92 step on the ice. And hopefully you see some flashes and it gets you fucking pumped for the season. That's what preseason's about. Because I'm going to be dialed into a preseason more than ever because of 92.
You and I will probably do a post-game show after Gavin McKenna's first preseason game.
It's the best. Yeah. It's the best. Yes. I can't wait. I literally cannot wait.
We'll talk about him and exclusively him and how he looked. Yeah, oh yeah. That is going to be like glued to the television. Typically when you watch a preseason game, it's like one eye open type thing, and maybe you're on your phone or not really super honed in. Oh no. Yeah. Every time 92 comes over the boards, keep your eyes peeled on him.
Yeah, he'll get to knock down a couple pegs once the regular season starts, because if Darren Radish looks like shit on the power play, Austin Matthews is doing nothing, Nylander's flipping off cameras, as long as like the expectations I don't think are enormously high for McKenna, but yeah, that preseason, it's going to be, I'm going to be locked into every shift.
How are you feeling as we inch closer and closer? Do you think I'm finding that I'm feeling optimistic, and maybe it's the start of a new season. We're further away from last season. I'm just, all the off-season goings on, I'm just feeling a lot more positive. But like, I just have this feeling that they're going to be a team that is like an okay to good hockey team that's going to be in the mix for one of those wild card playoff spots. But there is also the reality that you and I are on here in November talking about a team that isn't very good.
Yeah.
Which direction are you leaning in that sense?
Well, I mean, Captain Obvious. They can't go like 3-7 to start the season. Like, I mean, they got to be 500 at least. If that's got to be worst case scenario. Mm-hmm. I just have a hard time gauging what the rest of the division is going to do, because I do not think they're going to be as bad as they were last season. I really don't.
No. Yeah.
Like, that was just. I think one thing I'm learning in pro sports now is when a big player leaves your roster and you don't really replace them, if you go to a World Series and you don't win, there's a bit of a come down from that. I think that's one thing we've learned from both these franchises in the city over the past season, because they both kind of suffered from that. I think I'm a little more optimistic in terms of just their overall vibe. Like, there's no way the vibe's not better. We wanted new things. We got new things. We got a new general manager. We got a new head coach. We got a new guy running the power play. We got a new star in the making. Like, there's a lot to be kind of excited about.
A new goalie.
Yeah, you got rid of, like, you signed a bunch of dudes. You have no idea what they're going to do, but from all accounts, they're all hard workers. They all could play roles. It's actually one of the most different looking bottom sixes they've had through this whole era, which is refreshing. They got a goalie who arguably could be the number one storyline as well, who I think he has a chip on his shoulder. I think he's going to be pissed off. Is he going to be perfect? No. But I think he's going to play well enough to do so. I just look at the division. It's like, what are we looking at here? Like, to me,
well, let's go through it. Let's go through these teams, right? So it's like, if you take a look, let's start with the Florida Panthers. Okay, they're going to be back in the mix this year.
They're going to be making the playoffs. Yeah,
they're going to be making the playoffs, and they're going to be at or near the top of the division, whether that's first, second, or third. I think that's pretty safe to say. Montreal Canadiens.
I think they're winning the division.
You think they're winning the division? Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Detroit Red Wings.
They're going to be awful.
Yeah, I think that team is headed towards
that team's going to be the
basement.
same. They're going to be the same as they've always been. I don't see a difference in them.
Boston Bruins, playoff team last year.
I don't see, like, I don't like, I think the Leafs could take that spot.
Yes.
But who knows? The Bruins are the Bruins, man. Like, sometimes they just get it done. They just get there. I mean, they haven't won in a long time, but they're just a good, well-run organization, and they always kind of just do things the right way. So it's hard to just count them out completely and say that they're not going to be in that mix. They could have a better record than the Leafs. I mean, I think the Leafs have a better roster on paper, but I mean, they got a better number one defenseman. They got a better goaltender base on paper. I mean, at least forward group's a little bit better, but I mean, it's hard to tell with them. But I don't see them being a top three team in the division.
Ottawa Senators. I think this team is going to be a disaster. Yes.
Yeah, they're going to suffer from what I just said the Jays and Leafs suffered from. They lost their captain. They didn't really replace him, and it's just going to be...
The vibes around that team are not very good.
I'm going to be honest, I've never wanted the Ottawa Senators to do well. If they are, I'm kind of rooting for them a little bit this season, because I can't stand the Kachucks, and they got done dirty, and we know what that feels like. And I do think they got a lot of good players on that roster. The goaltender's kind of strange. I like Travis Green. Who knows? Maybe they go the other way, but from experience, you kind of sometimes you get let down when a star player leaves and you don't really replace him with much. But who knows?
The next two teams to me are the two biggest question marks in the division in terms of I don't know how it's going to go. You got the Cinderella team of last year, the Buffalo Sabres, who found it and went on this magical run and they were the team of the league towards the end of the regular season and into the playoffs. They're either going to continue to build on that and come back and be formidable, or they're going to have a bit of a come down. I have no clue which direction that's going to go in. Either. No clue. You could tell me that by the time we get to Christmas, they're kind of middling again, and last year was a bit of a mirage, and I'd believe you. Or you could tell me, nope, they're in the mix to win the Atlantic, and they've figured it out and turned the corner. I'll buy either one. And then another team who I think at some point is going to continue to experience a come down is Tampa. Tampa's older. I just don't. At some point, this team needs to have a season like the Leafs had last year and the Panthers had last year. And I think Tampa's that team this year. Some hardo at the beginning of the season will pick them to win the Stanley Cup.
My God.
I just don't see teams that I think will take a leap and be in the mix that weren't last year in the division are the Leafs and the Panthers. I see the Red Wings being in the basement. I see the Sens being in the basement potentially, and I see Tampa falling. And then you've got the Bruins, who I think will be one of the teams the Leafs are battling with. So top three teams in the Atlantic.
Okay, I think it's hard for me to predict where the Florida Panthers finish. Yeah. Because they don't need to win the division, and I think they know they're loaded enough. Hopefully they stay healthy and they have the option to sit a guy here, sit a guy there, and they're playing with options. They're not playing out of desperation with injuries.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can just fully assume that they're like a division-winning team because they can kind of put on the brakes a little bit, and as long as they sneak in, we know what they can do in the playoffs. They're going to dummy everyone's.
But I think they were so bad last year, Ryan, that I think they're won't. Like, I don't see them being a wild card team. No. So if I'm going to predict the top 3 teams in the Atlantic in no particular order, like the 3 playoff teams, I'm going to go Habs, Panthers, Sabres, and then I'm going to go Leafs, Bruins, and Lightning kind of in and around the wild card mix. And then I have the Red Wings and the Sens in the basement. How does that sound to you?
Tampa, it sounds good to me. I think the Habs are going to win the division. I just think they're just a wagon. They got all the vibes. They got a good team. They got a good mix of young players. They got a stud number 1 centerman. They have Lane Hudson, who's a stud. I just think everything's going right for them. And who knows when that Fowler kid's going to show up and be a stud, but Dobish was pretty good. I just think they're going to win the division. I think the regular season still matters a lot to them. I'll just put Panthers too because they're just too good.
Yeah.
The Tampa Bay Lightning piss me off because I just don't think they're a serious hockey team. And I've said that for the past 2 seasons. I think their run is way over. I think they're a little bit washed. But the problem is, it's just like their top players are just so like solid. Like they're just like good players, and they got a good coach, and Vasilevsky was kind of back. So I'm gonna go Tampa 3. I'm gonna go Tampa 3 just because I think they know how to get there in the regular season. I don't think they're winning a playoff series because they don't win playoff series anymore. I don't think they're serious that way. But
so
just
you think
like
the Buffalo Sabres will take a step back?
Yes, I can't rely on the Buffalo Sabres right now. I can't. And then I'll put the Leafs and the Sabres behind them. I don't know what order that goes in, and then Boston, Ottawa, Detroit.
Interesting. Very interesting.
The Tampa bothers me. Oh God, whoever picks them to win the Stanley Cups, like shut up. Like,
well, some guy will look at them and say like, "Oh, they still got Vasilevsky," and
exactly. Well, that's why I'm giving them the edge. Like you look at like Braden Point is just a hell of a hockey player, man. Like
and
Brandon Hagel is a hell of a hockey player. Jake Gensel is a hell of a hockey player. Kucherov's the best scorer in the league. Like the guy gets 4 points in his sleep, and as long as the goaltender shows up, like they're fine. Hey, Victor Hedman's a massive question mark. Like who knows what's going on with that guy? But still, all the other guys they have are like pretty good. They got John Carlson. He'll be able to run a power play. So got McDonough on your third pair and Chernak and I don't know. Like I just think there's too many solid hockey players, too many Team Canada Olympic members on that hockey team for them to just like not make the playoffs or be a wild card team.
And when you're talking about like in the quote unquote wild card mix, and you move over, like, who else will be in that mix? You look at the Metro. It's like, there's so many questions.
Sucks.
But there's so many questions in this division. It's like, the Hurricanes will probably win the division again. Let's be honest.
Yes.
And then every other team behind.
I think the Capitals got a lot better. The Capitals got a lot better. They took a step back. They were good the year before. They added size. They added skill.
Yeah.
They got, like, hopefully they don't they need to chill on Ovi a little bit. Like, Ovi only needs to go out there for the power play. I don't think Ovi needs to see much 5-on-5 time anymore. Yeah. But I think they got a lot better.
And
good
then
goalie.
What are the Columbus Blue Jackets going to be? What are the Philadelphia Flyers going to be? What are the Devils going to be? What are the Penguins going to be? The Rangers, are they going to be terrible again? What are the Islanders going to be with Pete DeBoer? And are they going to take a step? Like, there's so many teams in this division where it's like, I don't know. Like, any one of those teams, you could tell me that they're in the wild card mix or they stink, and I believe you. Like, no clue how to handicap and predict the Metro. No clue.
Yeah. I guess the Flyers and the Blues. Like, I don't see the Devils being much better. Like, I don't see the Devils being better. I thought the Pens that was kind of a mirage. I don't see them being great. And then, like, who knows what the Flyers are going to do, and then who knows what the Blue Jackets are going to do? Because the Blue Jackets were there all season, and they kind of crap themselves at the end there. But, like, I think, again, like the Atlantic just rules the Eastern Conference, and I think it'll continue to be that way this season.
Yep. One thing I put a pin in, I can't remember if it was last episode or the one before, you mentioned that you're a bit skeptical of Jim Hiller.
Oh, yeah.
And like, what does this look like? What does a Jim Hiller coach Leaf team look like? And I think it's a good point. I think it's a big question mark. I feel like this season, this first season, and a lesson I learned from Craig Berube is not everything transfers over. And what I mean by that is we're coming off Sheldon Keefe, who for the most part was pretty consistent. He was pretty consistent as head coach of the Maple Leafs. He had really good regular seasons, and then his team just didn't have it come playoff time. Yeah. Whereas Craig Berube came in and they had a pretty good first season and then had a borderline unwatchable, horrendous second season. Yeah. And I feel like with Jim Hiller, he's coming in and he's here. What did he say at his press conference?
Spirit of the team.
The spirit of the team.
Yeah.
He's here and his number one thing is going to be to improve the spirit of the team. Mm-hmm. And I think vibes are going to be high. Like, I think coming into camp and starting the season, vibes are going to be high. The veteran guys all know him. They're all happy to have him back. McKenna's in the building.
Are they happy to have them? Like, is that a for sure? Like, everyone assumes that everyone's so happy to have him back. Well, to me, Jim Hiller's a guy who speaks the same analytical language that John Chaika does. Both of them have started their own little analytical companies. And I think that Jim Hiller was the best candidate to kind of just go along with whatever the front office wanted to do. I don't know how big of a fact. Maybe they called Matthews and like gave him like, yeah, I like Jim, but I don't think Austin Matthews at home being like, oh, Jim's
But
coming
apparently
back.
they do have a good relationship, Ryan. Apparently they do have a good relationship. And you've heard me say it a bunch of times. I think this hire, I think Jim Hiller was hired for two reasons. One, what you just said about John Chaika. And two, because they need to fix the attitude of 34 and 88.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a negative way necessarily. The organization was a fucking dumpster fire. So yes, you do have to fix the attitude because the organization was a joke. But it's like, it's very clear that William Nylander could not stand Craig Berube.
Yeah.
And it's very clear that Austin Matthews they needed to do something. It's all about appeasing Austin Matthews. Yeah. And he had a good relationship with Hiller when he was here before. And so they brought him in again. And to me, I'm fascinated to see systems and that type of stuff because that's all secondary to the spirit of the team. I need to clip him saying the spirit of the team. I'm ashamed of myself for not clipping that. Yeah. We absolutely need that as a drop for the season.
I don't want to, I just, like, there's just no way you can have 100% confidence that Jim Hiller is just going to steer the ship, but like I could see him having Scrabble face a couple games in.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
You know, like he doesn't have the greatest reputation from an LA. Some players couldn't stand him. And like if Jim Hiller somehow fixes them in their own zone, which is like priority number one to me. I know we want to get Matthews more ozone starts and we want to stop dumping the puck in all the time when we're going into the ozone, but like we need to stop giving up 8 billion shots a game. Mm-hmm. Especially with a goaltender who's not a young man in the net this year. Mm-hmm. So you need to fix that. So, I mean, I think the success of Jim Hiller is gonna come down to, is their power play actually better? Like, is Gavin McKenna on that power play, assuming he's on the power play, and Darren Radich being on that power play, does that make their power play just better? Because that could fix a lot of issues. Yes. And number two, can Teddy Bluger or Colton Sissons or Nick Paul be relied upon to shut down some good lines in this league and get them some defensive minutes? Because they don't want Austin Matthews playing so many defensive minutes anymore. But priority number one is get the puck out of your own fucking end. Like, I can't watch another season of them just getting hemmed in nonstop. So there's, like, I don't know. Ryan, like, I just don't
have the puck in general.
Yeah.
Like, get it back in general.
Yeah,
that's what made last season so unbearable, is they just could never get it back.
Yeah. So,
but I'm choosing to look at this. I mentioned this last time. I'm choosing to look at this through a different lens because with the Leafs, it's always about going and getting the biggest fish, right? It was like, go and get Mike Babcock, and then last year, all season, well, go and get Pete DeBoer. And then the Islanders hire Pete DeBoer, and it's, well, go and get Bruce Cassidy. And, like, go and get the can they pry somebody out? Like, can they get Cooper out of Tampa? Can they get, and it's like, they went and sort of made an understated, unsexy hire in Jim Hiller. And I kind of am looking at it through the lens of like, okay, like, let's try this. Because even Berube, like when they hired Berube, it came down to him and Todd McClellan, which in hindsight, I remember at the time I was very anti Todd McClellan. I was like, don't do it. But then in hindsight, you look at how he's sort of handled the Red Wings situation, and I don't think the situation with the Red Wings is his fault. I think it's the player's fault and Stevie Y's fault. So in hindsight, maybe that was the right decision. But Berube was the biggest name out there in the free agent coaching market when they hired him. So it's kind of similar with Chaika. It's like, well, go and get Doug Armstrong, or go and pry Julian Breezeball out of Tampa. And it's like they go and hire John Chaika. So I'm kind of okay with these understated hires and just at least trying them out. I'm not saying they're going to work. They might not. I might be here with you a year from now being like, that was a fucking disaster. But like it's at least trying something different instead of going and getting the biggest fish.
Well, I do appreciate how when Jim Hiller was in LA, like they had good defensive numbers, even though they couldn't score, which was a bit of a problem. The
story on him in LA, and one of the reasons why the players were frustrated with him, is he like assessed the talent of the roster and was
which I think is fair. Which I think LA doesn't have a very good team. Like they don't have a lot of talent. That division just stinks. And there's not a lot of competition, even though that division is getting better now, so they'll probably kind of fall out of it. But I actually don't disagree with his assessment of that roster. I really
don't. And he was like, if we're going to win hockey games, we need to play a certain way, given the personnel that we have. And to a Leaf fan, that should be music to your ears, because we were so frustrated with Craig Berube square peg round holing his entire tenure here.
Yeah.
So if you're going to craft a style of play based on the personnel that you have on your roster, that should be music to Leaf fans' ears.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, there's no my negativity isn't based on any sort of evidence. It's just I've never seen the guy do it. I could kind of see him like from the outside. This is just my opinion. I can see him being a bit of a pushover. I mean, that's just me. It's just I don't know. I just don't have a ton of confidence that he's going to just be a goat, but I don't think he's going to be like totally atrocious. It's just like we'll see what happens, and we'll see how it plays out. I don't know. It's hard to form an opinion on how my confidence in Jim Hiller.
Well, and a completely new staff behind the bench too. Your guy John Gruden. Alfie.
Well, at least we know we got a replacement in order. We got John Gruden.
Yeah.
Listen, he's got a good assistant staff,
dude. You want to talk about the spirit of the team? Have you ever seen a team with more spirit than the Toronto Marlies?
Yeah.
John Gruden.
John Gruden.
Ryan, the NHL network listed their top 10 centermen across the league. Would you like me to list them for you?
Yeah, I saw the list. I don't have it in front of me, but yeah, list them.
Number 1, Connor McDavid. Number 2, Nathan McKinnon. Number 3, Macklin Celebrini. Number 4, Leon Draisaitl. Number 5, Alexander Barkov. Number 6, Jack Eichel. Number 7, Sidney Crosby. Number 8, Austin Matthews. Number 9, Nick Suzuki. Number 10, Jack Hughes. Your thoughts on that list?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, like looks about right to me.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, Austin Matthews has a lot to prove, man. That's the one. I also think Jack Hughes. Like, what is that? What is that guy?
Yeah,
he scored a big goal in the Olympics. But other than that, like, what's Jack Hughes? Like that the Devils team is pretty underwhelming.
Well, and like you also look at like a Barkov. Like he's number 5 on the list, and it's like he's not as flashy as the 4 guys in front of him. Not even close. But like, if you're trying to win a Stanley Cup, you're telling me you don't want Alex Barkov out there over some of these other guys? Like, he shut 100%. Down. He shut down McDavid 2 Stanley Cup finals in a row. Like, he's the
new Bergeron.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's just the new Bergeron. He's just
I despise the Florida Panthers with every fiber of my being, and I despise several guys on that roster with every fiber of my being. He is not one of them. He is like, if you were going to tell me to make a list of guys that I have the utmost respect for across the league, he's at or near the top.
Well, that's how I always felt about Bergeron too. It's
Yeah.
like you hated those Bruins teams, but how would you hate Bergeron? The guy was disgusting. He was so good. So
Yeah.
I mean, Bark, if you're starting a team and you want to build a playoff team, I mean, it's pretty easy to start with him. The guy's gross.
But
You got to say the most fascinating storyline this year is out in Edmonton.
Oh yeah.
That's number one.
Oh,
the whole like even Draisaitl, I saw a quote the other day. Is like, we just want to be coached up a little bit. It's like, what the fuck is going on over there,
Ryan?
man?
I can't believe this. Like first of all, just burying Chuck Knobloch. I know his name's Chris Knobloch, but just burying Chuck Knobloch on the way out, burying the guy. He took you to 2 straight Cup finals. He's not the one out there getting shut down by Alex Barkov. You guys are.
Yeah.
Sorry. He's not the one that had Stu Skinner in net. Like, why are we burying Chuck Knobloch on the way out? And these quotes that are coming out of these guys' mouths, like you just said, pointing to the issue was we need to be coached up. Well, you're going to get coached up, all right. Like, you're going to get This is the ultimate careful what you wish for, fellas.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's got to be other guys across the league who have played for Babcock who are listening to these guys talk and are just like, do you have any idea what you've gotten yourself into?
You're really like, just go pull up the Edmonton, because we know how Babcock operates. Okay, there's going to be he's got his favorite hockey player back of all time. He's got Zach Hyman back, which I don't blame him. Zach Hyman is probably one of my favorite hockey players to watch. But you look at how's Trent Frederick's season going to be this year?
Yeah,
the guy's going to hate his life.
Yeah,
who knows what Jason Dickinson? That guy's probably going to get put through the ringer. Babcock likes to play favorites, and he likes to shit on guys he doesn't like.
Yes.
So I don't know who's sticking out here, but there's going to be 2 or 3 guys in this forward group who aren't going to like their lives very much this year with Mike Babcock as their head coach.
I hope Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is ready to get called into the office to make a list of his teammates that work the hardest all the way through, because that's happening. Another guy who I'd love to get his take on how he's feeling is Kasperi Kapanen.
Yeah.
Because he was here with Babcock, and to my knowledge, he's never spoken out like I couldn't stand playing for the guy, and now he's back.
He had a great year that one year. Like when they played the Bruins and they lost. Like him and what's his face Janssen, they were good that season. They were breakout players that year.
Yeah.
So who knows? But just scroll down to the bottom of the depth chart where the goaltenders lie, and it's like there's Freddie Anderson and Tristan Jarry. It's like, oh man,
that's
Freddie Anderson.
I know. Freddie Anderson. And you go, oh, you made it to the Cup final. It's like, the Edmonton Oilers are not
the hardest working hockey team ever assembled.
Yes.
A team that will do anything to get the puck back and get it out of their own end and forecheck. Now you're going to this team that defensive play isn't exactly their calling card.
No. No, it's not.
No.
Dude, I can't. You're so right, man. I can't believe the quotes that are coming out of these guys' mouths about wanting to be coached up. Like,
you think Evan Bouchard's going to like playing for Mike Babcock? I don't think so. I don't think so. That's not a Babcock player. The guy gets 100 points a year. He's unbelievable, but he's not a Babcock player. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, you're the king of staying up late. So how many Oilers games are you going to be firing up?
Well, I got to stay up really late because the main event's what's said after the game. It's not. It's not about what happens during the game. It's what's said after.
No, and you got to wait for the pre-game media where he's got his Oilers shirt on covered in sweat because he just ran around Rogers Arena 15 times.
I do appreciate just having him back in the league, just for quotes and content. Like, there's nobody.
We're gonna have quite a few Mike Babcock
Nobody drops a better quote. Like John Cooper. Like, I love John Cooper, but like he's just kind of like annoying and he's like kind of arrogant. And I have all the respect in the world for him, but it's just like Not the greatest quotes. Babs just gives you
Babcock is like a
gold.
human cartoon. Like he's not a real person.
No.
Like he's not a real human being.
Even his face kind of looks like a cartoon.
Yeah, like a caricature drawing of someone. Like he's such a defined like chin.
Yeah.
He is. He's not a real human being. He's a fake human being.
But you know what that situation is? Like everything we just explained, that's just a team in a salary cap era that just has nowhere else to turn other than a head coach. Like they can't get better in net. They can't get better on the back end. Their forward depth is what it is. So we gotta go to last Kate. Like this is it. Like this is all in.
They have to win a Stanley Cup in the next 2 years,
which they won't.
Have to. Yeah, have to.
Imagine they do. Imagine he just pulls it off. That'd be crazy.
My God, that would be. I don't see it. I don't see it with
that. It's just the
this.
problem is like that division's getting better. Like San Jose's better now. Like Anaheim, like they beat them last year in the playoffs. Like Vegas is still good. Like you got this. Like you still got the Stars, and you still got like there's still a lot of teams to go through. They should have completed the comeback the first year. They must be kicking themselves over the first because they got dummied the second time against the Panthers. But that first year where they came back, like that was the year to do it.
Yeah, 100%.
So
look at that, buddy.
Interested.
I said we're going to turn the mics on and just talk, and here we are, 41 minutes. Look at us.
Well, I've pre-ordered you a white Jack Roslovic jersey. It's on the way.
Cost you?
Well, it's for you. It's an early Christmas present. That's what I got you because I know he's going to be your favorite Leaf. So that's on the way for you. And
how much did that cost you?
Well, I got $250.
Yeah.
Jack
Well, then it's not authentic because if you're getting an authentic one, that's cheap. You're pushing $4 for an authentic.
I have one more question for you. Out of all the Leafs' new bottom six players, who's the guy that you're looking at? I don't know, quarter through the season, halfway through the season, being like, God, I like this guy. Is it Teddy Bluger? Is it Brandon Duhaime? Is it Colton Sissons? Is it Nick Paul?
I want to say Nick Paul.
Yeah.
I want to say Nick Paul. I also see you and me talking a lot about Brandon Duhaime because if there was any guy that you and I know absolutely nothing about, it's Brandon Duhaime. He'll be a guy that a couple times will be like, Brandon Duhaime!
Yeah.
And then another time we'll be like, Brandon Duhaime. Oh my God. Yeah. It's got to be Nick Paul.
Yeah, it's got to be Nick Paul.
It's got to be Nick Paul.
Yeah, it's just because of the history.
The history, and also he's sort of a quintessential bottom six guy. And you said this last episode where it's like they've never had a good bottom six, and like it's so true. Like they've never had an effective bottom six ever. Yeah. And now that's one of the things that as we transition into this new era of the NHL where the cap, they're not so cap strapped. It's like you hope that they can find ways to build a better, more effective bottom six, because going through the flat cap and just their bottom six suffered paying the core four what they were paying them. It's brutal. But now they're going to water the league. I saw Bill Daly the other day talking about how it's Houston or Austin, Texas is happening.
God.
I know. It's like, I know. I know. No one thinks this is a good idea. No one wants this. I completely agree.
Come on. This is ridiculous.
No one wants this.
I know who your favorite Leaf's going to be. I just found him. He's not going to be in the lineup every night, but you're going to love when they pencil in Zach McEwen.
What are you going to do when Phil Myers makes his way back into the lineup?
Yeah, that's going to be tough.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. It's like you're drawing up the standings earlier, and it's like you just keep forgetting that their defense just didn't get any better. Like it just really didn't get that much better.
And you're one injury away from Phil Myers in every night.
Yeah.
Like
Troy
Stecher. But this is the thing with the rest of the league, dude. Like
yeah, that's true.
Every other team's like that.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of depth.
And now with the expansion, you're adding more guys who are not NHL caliber players into the league. God, it's talk about a bunch of guys who just see the dollar signs of the expansion fee, who do not give a shit about the product on the ice and how watered down it already is. It's so frustrating because when you're the consumer, it's just like, guys, like the league is already insanely watered down.
Yeah,
we're just going to add to that. Like, come on.
It's not great.
No, it's not at all.
I'm watching Zach McEwen and Arbor Jackeye fight right now, and Jackeye's just feeding him.
Yeah.
Just absolutely feeding him. Great.
Well, maybe Zach McEwen can grace us with a few drops of the mitts this season.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. 45 minutes. We're going to get out of here. Ryan and I are heading on vacation next week. Not together, unfortunately. Ryan and I are brothers, and we podcast together, and we do a lot of golf. We play a lot of golf together as well, but we are not vacationing together. But we will both be on vacation at the same time. Next week, we're going to take a week off ahead of the start of the season, get the batteries recharged, and then come back ready to go for training camp. And then this season, we are going to be pumping out more content than we ever have before. That's right, folks. The last couple of years, we've been doing 2 episodes a week. You can expect at least 3 this season a week. And you can also expect a lot more activity on our socials, on our Instagram and TikTok specifically. If you're not following those, links are in the description below. We're going to be back and do 1 more episode this week since we are going on vacation this week. So you'll probably be back maybe Thursday. Keep your eyes peeled. If you don't want to miss it, hit the like and subscribe button on our YouTube channel as well. If you're listening to the audio version, like, subscribe, review. Every little bit helps us out. We're pumping out content. We need you, our loyal listeners, to make sure you're hitting the like, hitting the subscribe, and what else are you doing, Ryan?
Spread the word, tell your friends.
We really, really appreciate it. We will see you guys in a couple of days.